let's finish up with the event planning checklist. Like I said, planning an event is really exciting, it's exhilarating, it's exhausting, but there's a lot of things that you want to take into account. So just want to run through these real quick so when you are ready to do an event, you've got a little checklist to come back to. So the first thing that you're going to need is probably the top 10 things. The first is the facility, where you're going to hold the event, whether it's online or live. Is it a hotel? Is it a conference room? The registration, make sure you've got a good registration system in place. For some of you, you may need insurance, so you might want to check with the rental facility and see whether or not you need insurance. Volunteers. Take some time to find some help, as we talked about earlier. Don't be afraid to ask for help and offer free tickets or sponsorship and that sort of thing. And your volunteers can even help with the photography or the video or the music or whatever it might be. So find those volunteers. Number 5 are going to be the guest speakers. Is it just you speaking, or are you going to have some other speakers? So definitely want to have that on your checklist early on. Music and AV, we've talked about planning and preparing for what you bring, and when it's your own event, you definitely want to make sure you've got that. Your marketing table, you want to be able to plan out what you're bringing. Am I going to put my books out there, or a sign-up sheet, a checklist for something they can take with them, some sort of giveaway? You want to plan that. Food and beverage, particularly if you're doing workshops and seminars and you're going to have breaks, you either want to make sure you can provide it and charge accordingly, or you want to make sure that they can go get it and make sure it's set up accordingly. Number 9 would be your handouts, your programs, things that are going to be part of the event. And you want to, again, think through these earlier, because there's a time and expense involved with creating all of these, and there's nothing worse than cramming the night before trying to design your handout or your program. Of course, not that I've ever done that. And number 10 is the presentation itself. Don't let the event planning get in the way of actually doing the presentation. The presentation is still, at the end of the day, how you're going to be measured. So these are just some things to keep in mind. You can create your own templates and systems so that you can make the next event easier, but hopefully these 10 things will help you stay out of a little bit of trouble, make it a little more stress-free, and at the end of the day, more profitable.